in fact, everyone on the side of Nova can stop the Liang ultimate. It just depends on the timing.
Yeah, it's all about timing on this one. HBSC, they're going to start very fast. They have the pay. The Liang with that level 4 is going to be starting to make some serious ganks. But if Nova Esports are able to withstand that, weather the storm, they will be fine come mid to late game.
For now, drafts has been locked in here in game number 1 here for the side of Nova Esports. It is a very mid to late game heavy draft, but the iron there, the iron blessing that they get is the fact that the Ogryn Diadea, this combinations early game is very consistent here. If they can stall the game time into a comfortable 8 to 10 minutes, potentially we might see more of Nova Esports capitalizing on the map itself. On towards the flip end though, Homebois-Black shrew Esport, their draft is really situational here. If Ze and also Musang King on the Tollmaster and also the Tigress is unable to get the ball rolling, this is only a waiting game for them to get outscaled.
I mean, going into this one, they have their potential, right? It seems like Homeboys, they have a little bit on the squishier side. They have to play very delicately. They cannot get ganked. They need to just basically win out in the early game.
With that in mind, let's save the talk and let's get our grand finals of the KIC2025 going, featuring Nova Esports taking on Black shrew Esports in game number 1.
Thank you so much, Saki. As we go into, of course, game number 1, this is a best of 7. Can Nova Esports take down the reigning champs, that is HBSE here?
I mean, this challenge has been issued many times, and Nova have not gotten the better of HBSE. So we'll see what kind of strength they're going to try and pull at this point. Waypit already taking a lot of damage. So on this Liang pick, it's just so useful.
Nova Esports in this game, they cannot play scared. It seems like at times they've kind of let the mental psyche kind of affect them. And for this one, especially in game 1, you got to set the tone. You got to play Nova Esports style.
Yep, you need to understand what your opponents are trying to do, right? Take a look at the damage put out by Zhihong at this point. The initial rotations of the Xiao Xiao is definitely going to hit them quite hard.
Oh, that Blossoming Fan was coming into our Waypit. I thought he was going to get picked off even early, but this is also the key matchup. Guyu versus Xuan in this one. I mean, Dharma will always be there for those team fights, but you got Xuan. I mean, he's got a lot of damage, and this HBSC side, look at a little squishy.
I mean, this is also dependent on the rotation, right? Even if you have the best damage, if you're not there, you're not there.
Yeah.
So the space sprite taken by the side of Nova is going to be very important. Whoever gets the initial wave clear, makes their first TB down, will have a better position because you get to look at how and which angle your opponents are coming in from.
Yeah, it's going to be key for them, but also not trying to get that initiation onto HBSE. They know that what's coming, so they're going to be aggressing. They're going to be one trying to take the fights of what they want.
We'll see. It's easy to think of what you want.
Yeah.
Very hard to get it in reality with that being said. Now with that, they have a slight goalie for the side of HBSE. This is going to be a little bit of a spicy one if they get more camp steals on the side of HBSE. So Nova needs to understand what is this next rotation that HBSE are trying to do.
It's not too much to worry about from Nova Esports. As long as they're within like 500 to 1,000 gold, I think that they're going to be happy. They just cannot let CY die early because he is the guy that's, again, getting most of that farm, and that will really propel them in that mid game.
I mean, it's also dependent on how late this game goes, right?
True.
Nova, right now, they're banking on the fact that, hey, we can last to the late game. We can last until that 10-minute mark without taking too many losses across the board. We may even be able to turn the fights around. But if they can't do that, this game ends in probably 15 minutes.
Yeah, it could be very quick. And that's the problem with Nova Esports. Is like, they want to go later games. I mean, not to say that the Ogryn is the end-all, be-all that it used to be in terms of like a raid boss, but he's still very strong. Once he's tanky, HBSC have to respect that damage and that takeability of him.
Yep, and this is very scary because aided by the rotational speed of Musang King, this one is going to allow him to have
all that control. They find him already, and he gets a knock up at CY, the Conductor of Souls, but it's not going to be enough. Guyu with a nice rotation, getting first blood.
Looks like the homework has been done by the side of HBSE. They will be able to get the first blood, and this is going to hurt Nova's growth. We talk about the late game standing. This is going to put them back by quite a bit.
Yeah, and I was just talking about how CY can't die, and then he just gives up first blood on that one. Not a great start, not the end of the world for them, but still, it looks like Waypit on the backside, finding VV for the solo.
Yeah, this is going to be great, right? So you slow down VV, that's one part of the formula. Now, CY has been slowed down, so it really is, okay, if there's one more hit coming in from either side on the important members, if Musang King falls, on Mushi Falls as well. This is going to be a pressure point that's going to be a little hard to deal with.
Yeah, those two definitely need to stay alive. I mean, Musang King is one of the most efficient jungling farmers that is out there, right? So the Annihilation doing a little bit of work on the Musang King, who prowls back to safety, but still, I mean, they need to be very careful with how they approach here.
Yeah, because take a look at the farming speed of Musang King. He's already at level 8. See why trading? Because he had given away that first kill. Now with that 4-minute mark has been achieved, Nova are going to start working on this Tyrant. And HBSE not too concerned because Musang King is able to rotate as quick as lightning here.
Yeah, quick as lightning, but taking the Tyrants obviously will help expedite the speed, the farming speed of Nova Esports, doing a great job of ensuring that they do secure that one.
Alright, so they will put pressure on the T1. There is no more tower protection, which means HBSE should have this one for free. Now with that being said, that seems to be a decent trade for the side of Homeboys. What more can they extract from the map? Because Nova, I don't think they want to take a fight against, in fact it's the reverse. Homeboys cannot take a fight against Nova right now for the next 55 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but again, you have your own jungle to kind of deal with. I don't think that that's too much to worry about. But Jay, on the other hand, I would think that he wants to be making some of those jumps, goes for those ganks to, again, help propel this lead.
He's going to try, but this is where the backup needs to come. Zhihong as well as Green need to be around him, right? That initial setup, the reason why it was successful was because there was more damage, right? So you need either protection or you need to super burst the other person from the other team on the side of Nova. Now, that is not available for the moment, so Zhe needs to slow down and be very careful about his positioning.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that he wants to do. Obviously, it'll be very difficult. But again, they find Musang King. They have a little bit of the stuns. He prowls away. He should be fine. Again, Nova Esports, you're threatening. You're not really going for those kills, but if you're pushing them away.
Yeah, that's good. You want to make space across the gorge. Now they've lost the T1 on the top. This is not an ideal situation, right? HBSE now will have a better rotation, Guiyu.
Yeah, Guiyu taking a little bit of damage. Here comes the reinforcements. The Annihilation is going to be on. They have the Autumn Stormer. They find Guiyu, and they get a kill on the board.
And that's an important one because in the class lane, once you have the level gap, you have the gold gap. It's going to be really important for them as well. HBSE though, Musang King has been farming non-stop, and Nova has not stopped that problem just yet. Now they're still trading by about 1,000 gold. So Homeboys, they have this in their home court.
Yeah, they do on this one, but a nice play by Nova Esports. The Annihilation was on point, the coordination, and when they jumped in, super smart, really just paying off in spades with that one.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a secondary point here, right, in contention. Zhihong has gotten that venomous start, right? He's going to try for the utility build here, but he does have the Stone of Sorcery, so that's going to be a little bit of extra damage. So does Homeboy want to take a fight right now?
The opportunities there, right? The sustain is going to be a problem otherwise. The Venomous Staff kind of neutralizes all that. That's going to be great to just kind of deal with the tiny team fight. But at the same time, HBSE, the way that they play, they usually just kind of wait for Musang King to hit that critical mass. I don't think he's ready.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's ready as well. Master Sword, that's a great item, Musang King, but that's only if you're able to set up the situation where you get a low health member on the side of Nova. That is not going to be present for now. Wave Pit has already hit the markers. So far, his first destined encounter in this game did not find the success that they were looking for, right? And if they do, that is where Nova can turn this game around.
Yeah, and I mean, they're kind of keeping on pace right now. Only down about 500 gold. They're going to lose the bottom T1, but throughout, they're looking to trade. And I mean, these trades are actually in favor of Nova, who are looking to just extend this game.
Yes, and this is even with a tower disadvantage. So right now they need to be very careful. HBSE though.
CY up in front finding Guiyu, who goes for the truth onto 2 with a Honey's Way Breeze. The flash away. Wave Pit's gonna be picked off. Do they get anything else? They've got the control locking him down, but Guyu's gonna be killed. They find Chuan as well. And there's Zhihong down, and it looks like Shay is gonna be killed as well. It's a 3 for 3.
But this is what they need to do. Nova, yesterday they were very, very scared. They did not try to overcommit. Right now, if they can stop this push in the mid, this is success for the side of Nova. They have recovered the farm. There is very little to set the two teams apart. And HBSE, great start. Oh, that was a little bit close.
Oh, Wendy tried to go for it with those creation blocks, and he misses the Annihilation. Had he gotten that pick off, that would have been huge.
All right, this then comes down to positioning between the two teams, right? What kind of setup do they have? Because it was HBSE, Guiyu got the setup, but it was HBSE that got caught.
Yeah. In the end, they actually made him pay, right? Guyu with a nice little setup, but again, everybody needs to be in that perfect spot, right, to really follow up. They weren't really able to do that, and I mean, it was a 3 for 3, so not the worst for either of these squads.
Actually, to be honest, I think they did get that combination off, right? Everything landed. Gui got his ultimate off, Zuhong got the knockup with his Kaisu freeze as well. But this is where we will see the major difference, right? Gui starts off the fight. Great catch, by the way. This is onto CY as well as Wavin. Technically, you have no more kills at that point. But before he took a fall, Wavin actually used the Desert Encounter, saved the teammates' health bars, which is why they're able to turn that situation around. If not, it would have been a nightmare for Nova.
I love the way that Guyu just makes plays, and the rest of HBSC are like, okay, he's going up, we're going in together, right? They're like of one mind, the hive mind, if you will. The HBSC, just with the way that they're able to just kind of coordinate these team fights.
The biggest difference here is the position of VV has definitely improved.
Yes.
And I think if VV has a consistent performance following whatever game they played yesterday against Nova, this could spell a great series for Homeboys BSC.
Oh, they got
one more.
catch.
Wendy.
Oh, Wendy, he gets picked off, and they make him pay. Jiyoung with that one. Now Wei picking God on, and Guyu on the flank, but now CY running for his life. They want to go for the towers, but the Conductor of Souls has not enough life, and he's going to be picked off, but they're going to continue on. Shuai gets picked off as well. 4 members down. Muji has shown up, but Musan King with the triple kill wants more, and they find Muji as well.
It's an ace. This is right before the 10-minute mark. This is 20 seconds of pain. In 10 seconds, Homeboys, they get a T1. They can go for the Shadow Tyrant as well, but the prize is bigger here. Azure Golem. What does CY do without CDR? What does he do without mana regeneration as well?
One by one, they walked into the trap of HBSC, and we were talking about when Musan King was ready. He's ready now as he helps the team off of a triple kill, getting that ace.
They even delayed the Tyrant so that they actually use that Annihilation by Wendy, and this is to no avail, right? So every single problem that HBSC is given to the side of Nova, no answer. They have tried, but still they failed the test.
And that's the moment, right? When like that 8 to 10 to 12 minute mark is when HBSC hit that critical mass and they decide to turn it up. They understand perfectly itemization and when they are at the peak of their strength.
The timing is just not right? Nova is a great composition, but they cannot sync the skills at the right time. HBSC though, Gui, Musan King, Zuhong, the 3 of them on point. They're actually synergizing with each other and making sure that it's not one move, it is a combination of multitudes, and Nova cannot handle that right now.
And not at all. I mean, that team fight was completely in favor of HBSC. They've grown this lead to about 4.3k at this point. I mean, 11 minutes in, we knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle. Nova Esports were doing fine. They were weathering the storm, but then, with that team fight, HBSC definitely in the driver's seat.
It comes down to what happens throughout the entire game. Take a look at the goal difference now. It's 4,000 ahead for Musan King against CY, and you're supposed to be able to tank on CY. Right now, that Conductor of Souls is not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not doing much at all. The life skill, plus they have the Venomous Staff, right? So you're kind of negating what he's bringing to the table, and it's tough, right? CY, this is uphill sledding at this stage.
Yeah, and at this point, they have the Shadow Overlords and Vanguards marching down as well. One more hit to end the T3s. That would be a big marker for HBSC.
Yeah, they're going to start this T3, and it doesn't look like they have any sort of answers with that Vanguard up in front. They're going to take that one down very easily. They rotate to the bottom lane. Again, Nova Esports want to deal with the Vanguards, but Musan King is within firing range.
Yeah, and Gui is also within firing range. He's looking for the flash proof mantra. And look, every time the Vanguards come, any T3 you take, that is extra value, that's a perk, that's a freebie. And HBSC, they're looking for it, they're very close to the crystal. Gui, where are you?
Yeah, this is so scary because you know that potential jumping can happen. He's going all the way on the flank on the bottom. CY is up in front because he knows he needs to provide that vision, keep the Vanguards off the crystals.
Yeah, they just want to take the T3. This is an even more disciplined HBSC than we've seen yesterday.
Yeah, they are not messing around at this point. Look at Musan King with that damage, taking the top T3. They took all of the towers, and they're just like walking off away.
And this is 8,500 gold in favor of HBSC. A lot of people were doubting, hey, maybe Nova comes back. And you know what Gui was telling us yesterday? Look, the talents, the casters, they said that, you know, they voted against us. Yes, we have still voted against you, maybe not Saki, but, you know, it's up for him to prove us wrong.
Yeah, I actually learned my lesson. I voted for HBSC because I was like, oh, Guyu cannot be calling me out again, right? I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be in his bad graces at this stage.
Well, I will stick to my guns, and we'll see how this goes.
But HBSC looting and pillaging, taking everything from Nova Esports, and now with everything, they're gonna slow roll it down mid here.
Now it's a 5,000 goal lead between the two.
Oh, they got the
junglers.
control. They find CY. Do they have the damage? He bounces on out. Guyu with that truth is not going to be enough, but they find Muji. They get the kill. Guyu now is going to be on the run. Jiyoung's been picked off. Juan doing his work, but 3 members down from Nova at this stage, and HBSC are looking to take game 1. If Wendy is able to hold, he's taking the minions at this stage. I think they're going to extend the game, at least for the next wave.
Yeah, but this is all Wendy. He has no options left. No more flash, no ultimate. They have a second life as
Yeah,
well.
the flash inside, they've got the control, they take down Wendy, and of course, HBSC off of the ace will take game number 1.
History has repeated itself. Nova, you have not learned your lesson.
It's a difficult route thus far, and every time nearing the 9 minutes mark is where one man coming in from Nova Esports gets caught out in that mid lane. This time, it was Wendy, and that caused into so much trouble for the side of Nova Esports.